job, they want us letting us come here, Lord. They want us to have this, and letting them hear the word of God. They want us to have fun tonight. They want us to have a great time in your presence, God. And then we ask Amen.
Amen.
How many of you call yourself a Christian? Who knows what a Christian really means? You know what a Christian really is. But honestly, I don't really believe that you do. As a Christian, we are supposed to be in line with God and keep focus on Him as we go. As a Christian, we are supposed to be a devoted soldier, as he never gives up, as he walks into the line of battle, and he keeps pushing on. Even though he might be afraid, he keeps pushing on, just like David and Goliath. We are also supposed to be like a hard-working farmer. You don't quit working. You do it for yourself, for your labor, and you always get the first of your crops. We are supposed to be like a rule-keeping athlete. An athlete doesn't get crowned with the championship unless he plays according to the rules. Being a Christian really means to obey God and follow Him and trust Him with everything you have, and to give everything up to Him and commit everything. And as a Christian, you're supposed to be Christ-like and live as if you were walking in His footsteps behind Him. Just because bad things happen to you doesn't mean that God turned you away, or that He doesn't like you, or He doesn't want you there. He still loves you and wants you, but He's just trying to test you. He wants to see if you really trust in Him and have faith in Him, and you're really giving Him all you have. He's never going to leave you. Never will. If He created you, why would He leave you? When you pray, you ask Jesus into your heart. It's just a whole new mindset. It's not the same. You walk a whole new path, and you come into a whole new world. It's like you're blind, you have a mask on, and as soon as you commit your life, that mask is off and you can see everything clearly. There's no better feeling than knowing that God has you wrapped around His finger. He has you in His hands, and He's protecting you, and that nothing can touch you because you're a child of God. That He has you, and He will never let you. When people pray, they think you have to make it long and fancy, and make it be all of this and that. Really, it's any prayer. You're talking to God. Prayer is special because you get to talk to the Creator, the person who loves you the most, the person who's never going to leave you. And you should never take advantage of that. Just because God doesn't answer your prayer doesn't mean He doesn't want to listen to you. It may just mean it's not the right time, or it's not something that you should do, or it's not for you. And just when you pray, you shouldn't just ask for stuff. You should always thank Him. Like, you should always thank Him. As in, when you pray, thank Him for the food, thank Him for the day, all through the day. Just thank Him for everything He's given you, everything He's doing. It doesn't matter how long it is. It can be a minute, a day, an hour. It doesn't matter. Prayer's prayer. And prayer's always going to be the right thing to turn to. When you're going through anything, and there's anything you need to just get off, you need to leave, there's prayer. And prayer will answer everything. Prayer helps you through anything and everything. When we pray, you can't pray and not have faith and expect it to work. Because if you don't have faith, you're not expecting God to move. You're not expecting God to answer you and do what you want Him to do. So when you pray, have faith that He will do it. And just because you don't have faith doesn't mean He won't do it. But you should have faith. Because God will not tolerate. You can't be a Christian without faith. You have to, because faith is believing in something that you cannot see. It is being sure of what you hope for. And we can't see God, but we know He's there. You can't see the air, but you know it's there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And everything that you do, you should have faith that it will work. Because if you trust God, then you can have faith. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, it can move a mountain. When God created the world, it took 6 days to create everything. And on the 7th day, He rested. But there was only one thing that He breathed life into. His breath created everything because He was talking everything into existence. But He actually made us. He didn't talk us into existence. We're the only things that He didn't just, this is created. He actually made us. As if, say you make this deck. You could talk this deck into existence if you were God, but it's so important to you and you love it so much that you decide to make it your own. You decide to make it yourself and make it with your own hands. Genesis 1, verse 1 and 2 says, we have to have faith, we have to believe that God created us and everything around us. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We are the only thing that God did not speak into existence. One thing that helps me stay focused on God is Christian music, reading devotionals, watching Christian movies, praying, and talking to God. I have an example that I really, really love. I feel like it can really explain more of how you're supposed to be as you grow into it. And it basically talks about faith and keeping focus on God. So, two friends were on the edge of a cliff, looking at the water. And right there it gets real rough and foggy, and nobody can see anything. So that all the boats get lost, and they die. They drown because they wreck. They can't see anything. So these guys decided they'd start a life-saving club right there on the edge of that cliff. So they started to do it, and it grew more and more and more. And the more they did it, the more it grew, and they got more money, more boats to go out and do it, big club, nice things, more people. But then it turned into more of a congregating place where they just hung out and talked, and they weren't paying attention to what they were there in the first place for, and they lost it. They lost focus of it, so it was taken away from them, and they weren't allowed to have it anymore because they couldn't pay for it. They had the money from saving these people, and now they couldn't do it because they weren't keeping focus and they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. And as a Christian, as we grow into more and more, like church, reading more, praying, we think we're good. We've been saved, we're alright. But really, when you do this, it's not just, oh, I'm alright, nothing can touch me now. I can go do this and it's fine because God will forgive me. No, sin is sin, and you have to be forgiven for that sin. And when you're saved, that doesn't mean you can just go sin. You have to keep focus, and you can't lose it. Because if you lose it, that's what you do, and you go back into everything that you repented from, and you turned away from it. And when you lose focus, you lose everything. Does anybody need prayer for anything at all? Nobody? I believe that. Come on. Anybody? Anybody?
like a really bad one, but still, it happened.
Anybody else? I know we need to pray for Joey and Grandma.
And Bobby.
Who?
Bobby.
Oh yeah, Bobby. Healing. Period. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for this night. And I thank you for letting everybody be here, Lord. Letting you hear this. But I also want to thank you for giving us assurance and giving us the faith to know that you are going to heal these people in your name. And that there will be no sign of it left. And nobody will be able to tell what happened. And you changed it that much. Nobody will know what happened because there will be radical healing. They will be changed. And if they're not saved, they will be by the time they walk out of the hospital. Because if they're in there, you're in there with them. And you will heal them more. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting us know that.